Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian, and this is my cybersecurity capstone project. And in this video, I'm going to give you a beginner's level tutorial of Wireshark, which is an open source network traffic analysis tool that was developed by Gerald Combs in 1997 as an open source project, which he began writing to innovate in the field of network analysis. And what Wireshark essentially allows one to do is it gives you a detailed look of what is going on in your network. And since 2015, Wireshark 2.0 is the most up to date and it has been used by many commercial and non commercial companies in solving their network issues, such as determining where a DDoS attack may be coming from, or perhaps making sure the properly authenticated users are on your private network. And as such, this gives digital investigators an edge in piecing together a case as well. Because they can also look at the different apps that are running on the network and the different websites that users may be visiting. So that's obviously really good for trying to monitor a suspicious user on the network. So to download Wireshark, all you need to do is just go on Google and type in Wireshark, wireshark.org, and then from there install the one that's proper for your operating system. And from there, you're just going to go ahead and agree to the usage agreement and run the application. One thing I want to point out is it's going to ask you to download a driver called npcap or suggest an alternative called WinPCAP. And this is essentially going to allow the Windows operating system to capture and transmit network packets. So once you've gone through all that, go ahead and open up Wireshark. So in my list of interfaces here, I'm going to go ahead and click my Wi-Fi. So as you can see, Wireshark will begin capturing packets. Often it'll happen really fast, but I'm a little bit away from my router right now. And we could see most of the protocols we have coming in for these packets are TCP, meaning they're likely communicating with from other devices. But I'm going to stop right here just to go over some information with you on what we have here. We have the sequence number of the packet, when it was received, and we can actually go to view and we could change the time display format. You can choose the format that you like. You have the source IP address, the destination IP address, the protocol, the length of the packet, and some information here. So here we can see that the source device is sending an acknowledgement to the destination device. We can be sure that these are two devices in communication with each other because it's a TCP protocol here. And that's typically for the communication between network devices. But if we want more information, we can see that down here, each one of these lines of text represents a network layer that was captured within that packet. So this layer would represent a physical layer and would represent physical aspects of the packet, which is why we see the number of bytes that it was made up of. We can see the Ethernet layer, and we could get more granular information when I open it, but I mainly want to show you right here the source device is coming from a device manufactured by Han Hai PR, and the destination device is a Netgear router. The type of IP protocol is IPv4, and you can open it up and get some more information. But I want to focus it on right here, the source IP address and the destination IP address. So we can actually get some information on the source IP address and the destination IP address. For example, if I look up the destination IP address, go to value, and I go to whatismyipaddress.com. It's a neat little due diligence tool. I wouldn't recommend using this on a public Wi-Fi though. And the internet service provider for this IP address is Cloudflare. And it says organization Cloudflare. It says type corporate. So this is likely a internet security provider. Yeah, a web infrastructure and website security company. So I think this is very interesting information because we can essentially see that the destination IP address or the location on the internet that we were sending information to was firewalling us from allowing that information to pass through to the actual web server because it didn't want us to have unauthorized access to any information on that web server. And this is evidenced by the fact that Cloudflare provided that encrypted IP address, and also by the fact that the destination port is 443, which, if you know, that a 443 port on a TCP protocol facilitates encrypted web traffic between HTTPS and SSL protocol. And that is usually a protocol that's used from web servers. So as you can see here, we have a lot of useful information that a digital investigator can use. Another control functionality that investigators can use or compliance professionals can use is Wireshark's ability to filter for different types of packets. For example, let's say I want to look at communications within my network for different web servers. In this case, I would type in the HTTP protocol, and here I can see all the communications in my network with HTTP packets. I did go on YouTube earlier, so it's likely why this packet picked up, as we see the information here. And we can also see that we have an extra network layer for the HTTP protocol, and we get some more granular information here. However, let's say, for example, we only want to look at communications between a specific address that are for the HTTP protocol. So I'm going to choose my address, apply as filter, go to and selected. Now showing all the HTTP packets that were sent from my device to other destinations. Here we can see Hanhai PR, and I know I said earlier that Hanhai is a manufacturer of Android devices, but I also did some due diligence, and this is also practical help in showing you how this is useful for investigators. I found out that this company is a global company from Taiwan whose main customers include Apple, Cisco, Dell, Nokia, and Sony, and I have a Dell laptop. So that should let you know the different dimensions by which a compliance professional or investigator can use this to help them make sense of how to better manage any adverse cybersecurity risk against their organization. So also you can export this into an Excel document, and you could use like VLOOKUP functions or if and what if functions to give you better control and assurance over which users are in your network. However, there are many other control features that we can use. For example, let's say in this new capture I just taken, we can look at the nature of the network congestion by going to statistics. And if for this instance we want to look at the network congestion for TCP protocol, we would go to TCP stream graphs and then time sequence, and we can see the nature of the relationship between the sequence number and the amount of time that's elapsing. We could also, for example, go to view and change the coloring rules, which would give us some qualifying information for the different types of colored packets that we have. For example, here, a bad TCP or checksum could be a black background with red text, but we could look into that further by clicking on one of them, obviously. And we can see here that the new fragment overlapped old data, which is why we have this feature here and this information that there was a duplicate acknowledgement followed by spurious retransmissions. So this is just some of the general functionalities of Wireshark, and I hope I've piqued your interest in traffic analysis and the methods of intrusion detection.